Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Francis. Meghan Markle made a glamorous solo appearance at the LA Children's Hospital Gala, wearing a striking red Carolina Herrera dress. The Duchess of Sussex had previously donned this gown at a 2021 gala in New York, but this time Prince Harry was noticeably absent. The event, hosted by Kaley Cuoco, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Colin Hanks, saw Meghan engaging warmly with children, smiling and chatting throughout the evening. While she was flying solo, Harry has been attending a number of engagements without her as well, including trips to New York, the UK, and South Africa. Meghan said, "The work they do is otherworldly, and I think from my standpoint as a mother, no one wants to be in a position where you need to go to a place like this. But if you have to, the best place in the world you could go would be Children's Hospital, LA. Some thought Meghan seemed uncomfortable at the event. Body language expert Judy James tells Female, "For a confident woman who is used to cameras and red carpets, she acts grateful to see and join her friend here. The body language ritual that she follows seems to be deliberate signaling of her current state as Harry is off on his solo tour. Meghan performs signals of coyness and even shyness, plus a subliminal desire to have someone take over the lead from Harry, as though she is somehow lost without him on the red carpet, or wanting to suggest she is feeling more vulnerable and girlishly playful than usual." Meghan's red dress was not warmly reviewed. One social media user called it the most hideously ugly dress, and she wore it to meet with donors and children. In recent weeks, Harry has appeared at 10 public engagements alone, including a Well Child's Award ceremony in London and his Centre charity visit in Lesotho in South Africa. This absence of Meghan has led to speculation, with reports suggesting that Harry is focusing on being taken more seriously on the international stage, while also seeking space in his public appearances. An insider tells the Daily Mail, "This definitely feels like Harry is upping his game to cement his position as a serious player on the international stage. He's always been desperate to be taken seriously, and people I know say his fall from grace will really have got to him. It is a surprise that he went to Lesotho without Meghan. There may be a good reason she can't leave the kids, but she's never been to Lesotho, and that surprises me. It is like a second home to Harry. He first went there as a teenager, and the royal family there is like his second family." An insider tells People, "The Duke and Duchess have now hit their stride as individuals, not just as a couple. The Duke appears focused on his patronage work, and the Duchess focused on her entrepreneurial track. It's clear that a twin-track approach is evolving." An insider tells OK, "Ever since moving to America, it's taken Harry a long time to feel comfortable and confident enough to go out on his own, and he is really enjoying this new way of life. Before, he always used Meghan as a bit of a security blanket, as he felt quite lost in his new role, which was completely different to his old royal life and what he had been used to. He was always happy to let Meghan take the limelight as she thrived in big public events, and he would take her lead. He did feel overshadowed at times, but he was happy for that while he adjusted to a whole new way of life." PR expert Renee Smith doesn't think the current Team Sussex PR strategy against the Duchess' difficult narrative is working. Smith tells The Express, "While having named staffers defend Meghan publicly may seem like a tactical response, I don't think it's an ideal PR strategy in this case. It comes across as reactive and somewhat defensive, which can appear desperate. Just because some staff members offer praise doesn't negate the possibility of negative experiences from others. Human behavior is complex, and even individuals who are difficult in certain contexts can still be admired or liked by others. In PR, it's important to remember that defending personal allegations too directly can inadvertently draw more attention to the accusations themselves, potentially leading to further scrutiny." The Sun's royal editor Matt Wilkinson tells the Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered YouTube channel, "They do not need a success. They'll sit down and point to Colombia and Nigeria, the quasi-royal tours, as a success. They've still got Invictus to come next year. I can't call it a flop era, but they possibly do need a win. Harry will point to legal cases he's launched against newspapers in the UK. He has had success in the courts. Once you put it like that and you think about it, maybe they are in a flop era." PR expert Carla Spite tells The Express, "When Harry left his royal duties, he was exploited by American agents. He was suddenly allowed all this freedom to say whatever he wanted. He was hurt that his proposals to work with the palace from afar to protect his family were rejected, and the agents he worked with ran with it. They encouraged him to speak his truth rather than offering their skills and expertise to highlight and mitigate any issues the couple might face with that approach. They both needed support to enter the real world outside of the palace gates, and instead, they were used as cash cows. Palace Intrigue will be right back. King Charles will temporarily pause his cancer treatment next week to embark on a significant overseas visit to Australia and Samoa. The 75-year-old monarch, diagnosed with cancer earlier this year, has been undergoing weekly treatment since February. However, after receiving clearance from his doctors, the king will take a brief break from his treatment for 11 days, while out of the country, resuming it upon his return. The visit, set to begin on October 18th, will mark Charles' first trip to Australia since becoming king, and will also include a 4-day stop in Samoa for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Despite his illness, the king has been focusing on his health, drawing strength from his love of nature and the company of family, which he believes has aided his recovery. A keen advocate of alternative therapies, Charles has been complementing his chemotherapy by spending time outdoors, which sources say has brought him solace. Though Charles has maintained his workaholic nature, those close to him have encouraged him to pace himself. Aides have tailored the upcoming tour to ensure it aligns with his health needs, while reports suggested the king could be tackling up to 12 engagements a day. Palace officials have dismissed such claims, affirming that the schedule has been carefully managed to prioritize his well-being. During the tour, Charles and Queen Camilla will lay a wreath at the Australian War Memorial and visit the For Our Country Memorial, dedicated to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander servicemen and women. They will also be welcomed by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese at the Australian Parliament in Canberra and will visit iconic landmarks like the Sydney Opera House. A particularly meaningful moment of the tour will be Charles meeting with 2 Australian doctors recognised for their work on skin cancer, an issue of personal significance given his current health battle. The king's determination to press on with his royal duties despite his illness reflects his commitment to public service, even while navigating his recovery. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice, and write us a review or leave some stars if you're enjoying the show. And I'm Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.